Fractions Pizza Parlor. Hi! Whenever I hear of fractions, I like to think about pizzas sliced into smaller pieces. Yum! Pepperoni. A fraction! 1/4. The top number here, 1, is how many of the slices you want taken out of the fresh pizza. And the bottom number, 4, is how many total pieces of pizza are in the whole thing. You can also say 1 out of 4. Gimme! Just 1 for me. So thinking about fractions that way, here are some other fractions expressed as pizza servings. 2/4. My slices are shaded in. 1/6. 1/3. That's a lot. 1/8. Not quite so much. One way to think about fractions compared to each other is by asking, who gets more pizza? Billy gets 1/2 of a pizza, while Annie gets 1/3.
Not fair, Billy.
You can see that Billy's fraction is greater than Annie's fraction. 1/2 is greater than 1/3. But what about trickier problems? For example, what if Billy gets 3/5 of Papa's pizza and Annie gets 1/6? Does it matter that the number of pieces in the total pizzas are different? Does it matter that Billy has more slices than Annie? It turns out that both things are important. Cross multiplication can help. To cross multiply and compare fractions, we need to find the common denominator of the two fractions. As you probably remember, the top digit of a fraction is the numerator and the bottom is the denominator. For example, in 1/4, 1 equals the denominator and 4 equals the denominator. Well, if we want to compare two fractions, the best way is to express both fractions as having the same denominator, bottom digit. That's the common ground on which we can compare who has the greater fraction. Turning to Billy's 3/5 and Annie's 1/6, in order to find the common denominator for their fractions, just take the opposite person's denominator and multiply it across your own fraction, top and bottom. You'll find out what the common denominator is. Billy, take your 3/5 and then take Annie's denominator and multiply it across. 3 times 6 is 18. 5 times 6 is 30. Billy has 18/30. Annie, take your 1/6 and multiply it by Billy's denominator, top and bottom. 1 times 5 is 5. 6 times 5 is 30. Billy is always the winner here, it looks like, with 18/30 greater than Annie's 5/30. The common denominator, as you can see, is 30. Find the common denominators in these fraction problems. You can just pause the video and see if you can get it. I'll do the first one for you. If Billy has 1/3, if Annie has 1/4, then multiplying Billy's fraction by Annie's denominator, top and bottom. 1 times 4 is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 4/12 for Billy. Annie can do the same. 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 3 is 12. She has 3/12. Poor Annie. So 12 is the common denominator for both Billy and Annie.